so welcome back to the second part of FanView this week, looking ahead to Norwich v Ipswich on Sunday, midday. I'm here with Dino. As you've probably seen him a few times this season, Dean's a devout Ipswich fan. He goes to Mecca every weekend to pray to his Lord Jesus, Ipswich Town. Dean, in terms of what you're expecting for Norwich this weekend, what are your thoughts?
Worried, to be honest with you. I think going up the Carrot Road, as we call it, and I admire all the fans who are going up there. You just got to go up there and just sing your heart out for the lads. But if you're looking at league position, top of the league versus bottom. But there's part of me thinking that the form book goes out of the window for a local derby. The form book goes out the window. The lads can go up there and scrap and fight for everything. But have we got the quality to do that? It's difficult to see us getting a result up there, but as with the season, we live in hope and we just think, can we turn it around? It's unlikely to get results, so I'm not being negative, but you've got to look at the whole season. But going up to top versus bottom, I'm not expecting much. I'm preparing for the worst, but hoping for the best, so to speak, which is what I'm saying about the whole of this season with Ipswich Town, which is not very good, is it?
No. Well, in terms of Ipswich and Norwich recently, Norwich have picked us for the last few years. But let's talk more recently, last probably 6 years, it's been quite a level playing field. And Norwich,
some draws, haven't we? We've got a few draws, but we haven't beaten them, have we?
No, we haven't beaten them off the park, and that's the thing, that's what I'm trying to say. But when we come back to the lesson that we can learn from Norwich had a building season last season, weren't expected to do anything, but this year it's actually paid off.
Yeah. And
we met earlier in the season, it didn't look like Norwich were going to push on. But
exactly right, yeah.
When we came away from that game 1-1, I spoke to you after, and we were both disappointed that we'd conceded a late goal in that game.
Could have won that game, and I think there didn't look a lot of difference between the sides, but that's obviously Paul Hurst was in charge, wasn't he?
Yeah.
First derby game, and like you're saying, mate, there wasn't a lot of difference between the teams.
No.
And we had a little bit of hope, thinking perhaps we've turned the tables. Fark is not going to work. We've got a young manager in Paul Hurst who's going to take the club forward, but look how it's changed.
Yeah, it's changed massively.
39 points between us, isn't it?
Yeah, and exactly. And if you look at that game in closer detail, you look at a player that jumps to mind in that game, a flair player, someone who's quite unpredictable in the way that he moves. Gwion Edwards, for me, he's been left out the side since Accrington.
Yeah, haven't seen him
in the cup. We haven't seen him in any games. He's not playing under 23 football, no reserve football. It's just the kind of game you want a player like Gwion Edwards to be playing in.
Possibly, yeah. He's that flair player that, to me, he's a flair player. When Paul Hurst got him, started well, like you said, but he's too inconsistent for my liking. He'd never get in the Mick McCarthy side because he works, he tackles, but he's too inconsistent. One minute he'll try and do something flash, which works, next minute, but you've got to have that sort of like the unknown with certain players, and that little bit of quality where some managers will accept him for what he is. He could do something exceptional, be a game winner, but for the rest of the game he'll be quiet.
Yeah.
But whether he won't be getting a look in, will he? Against
well, that's the thing. We've brought in Alan Judge, and you could argue that Judge is a similar player, but more tidy than Gwion Edwards, but
more consistent.
All of those players, we've actually relying on what we've bought in January to take us through in this game.
Yeah.
I asked this question to Alex yesterday and to you today. Who do you see as our most vital player going into this clash?
Into this clash, big question. Can we get Collins and Chambo back? Although, to be fair, I think against Sheffield Wednesday, who do we have in there? Nisiala, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Came in. Was Pennington was in there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
But I think Collins, if we can get Collins and Chambo back for that game, obviously remember Chambo with that header, which we thought we'd won last season.
Yeah.
If we can get Chambers and Collins back in, but who's going to score the goals? Teddy Bishop had a good game against Wednesday, but I don't think he's ready to really, for 90 minutes. He's getting better, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Where's the flair going to come from?
Exactly. You don't really know.
I can't. It's difficult when you look at how many goals Norwich are banging in. And we are struggling to create and score goals, aren't we?
Yeah.
Which has been the tale of our whole season. So it's looking pretty. What's the word?
Bleak.
bleak is a word, I think,
Yeah.
going into this game. But we live in hope, and we just hope the form goes out the window and we can go and get a result.
In terms of Ipswich and Norwich for you, Dean, what was your earliest memory of the clash?
My great memories are Alex Matthew hat-trick with the 5-0.
Yeah.
Bobby Petter.
Brian Gunn with the mistake.
Brian Gunn with the mistake was great, obviously, which springs to mind, and obviously the 5-0 Matthew 3, Bobby Petter with 2. What a game that was! But you know, those sort of things have been few and far between.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, that you know we'll always be proud of Anglia because we're Ipswich and they're Norwich, because there's, you know, with the history, the tradition of this club is such that, you know, they're not a patch on us.
No.
Obviously we're biased, but they've had the better of us, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
Historically, over the last, you know,
they could, you know, with one more win, they've pipped us. They'd pip us on the record.
Oh, the record they go above over the overall record, which
so
we were leading that by, you know, back in the good old days. We were well ahead in that, yeah, because we always used to beat them.
Yeah.
You know, but they've turned the tables, and I think.
Do you think, obviously, given our position at this moment in time, the game on Sunday could be a last hurrah for Ipswich before they get relegated to League One?
Well, it's, you know, it's
an opportunity to put in a performance in it.
Yeah, let's go there. Let's put a really good performance in. You know, if we can get the 3 points, could it mean the start of the Great Escape? I know people think, for God's sake, get a reality check, and I've said it. I think you know, my heart is saying we're down. My head is saying we're down, but my heart is always saying, look, we can turn it around, but it's going to be unlikely.
Yeah.
But if we can get 3 points here, then we go to Derby on the Wednesday. But I've been saying that for the last 10, 15 games. You know, get a couple of wins.
You're the
back in it. But you know,
motivate me to think in that sense. But
I keep next game. We're gonna win 2 or 3, but time is slipping.
Yeah.
Games are going. But if we are going to go down, it would be great to go down with beating the Budgies at Carrot Road, and hopefully stopping them from the 3 points that, if we could stop them getting automatic.
Yeah. They
go into the playoff lottery, and they obviously don't go up, which is what we want.
Yeah.
And if we go down, hopefully we'll bounce straight back, and they won't go up to the Premier League, because there's nothing that it's going to be a terrible season if they go up and we go down.
Oh yeah.
Nothing worse for a town fan, is there?
No, nothing worse.
But it looks like it's going to happen.
Yeah, 100%.
I hate to say it, but
well, thanks for that, Dino. Anyway,
that's
a good look into it from your side of things. Don't forget to subscribe, obviously, to this channel. I'll be looking to bring some more interviews this week ahead of the big match, Norwich v Ipswich, Sunday noon.